No, clearly, you know what, with the demand that's out there today, it's always a matter of being able to reach further with the services that we have. And a distributed antenna system is a great way, you know, to be able to reach a lot of those environments, whether we're talking about a campus, a stadium, just areas where you have a heavy concentration of folks. And while there are a lot of different methods, I know the one that is one of the most common is just to be able to put in, you know, leaky coax, if you will, which is coax that serves as an antenna itself. It's able to handle a lot of the capacity that's out there, and we do quite a bit of work with many of the companies that are here today to be able to make that a reality.
I can speak from some carrier side experience, doing consulting work for multiple carriers and site acquisition, and the way the conversation can flow with, for instance, a university or college would be related to trying to get an typical antenna installation on a rooftop for, you know, a macro cell. And that conversation turns into, well, we have a problem with providing services. You know, we like the idea, but, you know, we want to provide services to the you know, dorms and areas of congregation, indoor, outdoor. So we'd like a more, you know, holistic solution. And then when they think about it, they don't want to limit themselves. I mean, they like the idea of a carrier coming in and doing it, but they don't want to limit the choices for the student population.
You know, when T-Mobile, when we look at, you know, providing coverage to, you know, University of Penn, right, in downtown Philadelphia, or Drexel, you know, it can be done to some degree with your traditional macro networks, but it's not going to get the penetration, you know, as was said earlier, into every corner of the buildings, every dorm, you know, every classroom. Maybe the professors and teachers would prefer it that way, right? But ultimately, being able to have that flexibility is key, and so that's when you augment those, you know, traditional macros with an indoor system or a distributed antenna system to allow you to cover every corner.
One of the things Anritsu does is measure signal quality and signal strength. So we find that all the solutions mentioned are required in order to get a signal to every part of where you want to use it. And so I think the hybrid approach is probably best. And the best way to actually do this is to measure your signal strength in the building that you'd like to cover. And that's the best way to avoid having too much power and overdoing it. And I think it's the best way to answer the public's concern about safety, because you can compare, you know, what you'd be exposed to in this room, for instance, to, let's say, standing next to your microwave when you're heating up a cup to make a cup of tea. I think you get, you know, much less radiation in here, much less, significantly less.